kind of pedigree would you say these civil bodies or groups have for the military to be enticed to want to partner with them?
For example, the army cannot do it alone, even the police cannot do it alone. We have a lot of measures to counter terrorism. Government can use serious intelligence or espionage to track them down. Serious one. Then if they have to put their camera around the streets.
But isn't that what they have been doing? I mean, how did they get to know that, or, you know, even get to, they've been tracking their hideouts one after the other. They've been having
We're talking
battles.
about spreading to the other parts of the states.
Oh, okay, spreading around Nigeria.
Yes, government should put a counter-terrorist unit in all the states now, because if they cannot bomb Borno, they cannot bomb Yobe and the other states, they can also perpetrate their acts in other states of Nigeria, like what happened in Kaduna, was it yesterday? A police station, they went there, they gunned down some policemen.
But the police have said that those people were not Boko Haram suspects, that they were actually armed robbers.
That is the terrorism we are talking about. The Boko Haram, they are anarchists. Anarchists are political philosophers who hold the states to be undesirable.
Do robbers fall in that category?
Yes, robbers are anarchists too. A lawless person, because the demands of Boko Haram cannot be met.
I mean, the terrorism toga, which you say,
yeah,
because what was said yesterday,
yes,
is that there were robbers who they just ran into, while they were escaping, ran into that police station and a gunfire ensued.
Yes.
Not
Now,
that they
let
were
me
out
tell
and
you,
out terrorists.
robbery, kidnapping, assassination, carnage, mass murder, even thefts, they are all terrorist acts. It is only pronounced when terrorists themselves are using these acts. So that is why I'm saying that there should be a counter-terrorist unit in all the states. And government should partner with a lot of organizations. They cannot do it alone. The police cannot do it alone. If the police is doing it alone, what about the community? The community will harbor the terrorists. The owner of the house will harbor them in their house. They will hold their meetings and all that in the hotels. So that is why I'm saying that they need to partner with organizations. They need to establish a joint task force with civilians in all the states to combat this terrorism. Yeah.
Wow, I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
It's very interesting you came up with this, because I mean, one of the reasons why the state of emergency, the operations were quite successful, is because they were able to get the people on their side. I mean, we had an analyst who said that yesterday. I would have heard of civilian JTF.
Yes,
they were nicknamed the civilian JTF, the youths in that state. Isn't that a way of partnering with them? Is that the kind of partnership you're talking about?
Yes, that is why I said it should be spread to other states. Because now we're talking about only Borno and those other states. But we have not really, experienced, all this in most of the states. And
what about the vigilante groups that we have in
vigilante may be a vigilante
states?
Because they might not have this counter-terrorist basic experience.
Yeah, but the civilian chaps don't have it either. They just volunteered and give themselves.
Yeah, by government partnering with them, they will be subjected to some basic training, how they can carry out surveillance, how they can carry out some little observation, how they can identify threats, how you can identify a suicide bomber, a suspected suicide bomber.
Isn't that training that everybody should have in society?
That is why I'm making that suggestion that they should partner with civil organizations. And the counterterrorism should not only be restricted to the police or the army. It should also be, flow into the immigration services, customs services, even the road safety, because terrorists move also on the roads, they move the ammunition, they move the explosive on the road, so that everybody should be aware of this menace in our society.
Do you have any fears? I mean, do you harbor any fears with this, assuming that Shekau was truly dead? Do you have any fears, as to what his death might mean?
Yes. What the deaths might mean is just for them to carry out more revenge on governments VIP installations, their objective to attack churches, to attack Western education skills. That is what it means. That's why for them to gun this man down, now the government needs to intensify more security in all the states in Nigeria. Bringing out all the army, they are all in the barrack, the police, even the Air Force and the Navy.
How can they bring
terrorism
them all out?
Yes. No, what we're saying is it's not that whether to bring them out. What we are saying now, they should be involved. It is a problem. Just some group of people just went straight to police station and start shooting. Don't you see it's sending a kind of insecurity in the nation? And we have trained people, highly trained, that can handle all these situations.
All right, because I mean, you have people who will think that if you're saying they should apply the same scenario in Borno to other states, wouldn't it look a bit awkward because there was a scenario there? You know, the military had, that's why they have a state of emergency there and other states don't. So in terms of the way the partnership should work in other states, it should be a little different.
It should be
what is
based on counterterrorism. The counterterrorism tactic is basically passive measure. You know, this is your area. Terrorists can come. You have cameras surrounding all this area. All right? Apart from that, you have a unit security men that are watching this camera. They are trained to identify a specific threat. When you see someone wearing clothes in a hot afternoon and it looks very heavy, so it can be a suspect what is inside the clothes.
If the cloth is heavy in the afternoon?
Yeah, of course. Or you see someone carrying a briefcase trying to infiltrate into your compound, it means something. All right, so all these things.
What about we that carry briefcases?
No. Yeah, it can be a suspect, but at the end of the day, it might not be a suspect. All right, because that's the way the terrorists also appear. Those are the specific tasks. And apart from that, there should be also street cameras. Which we don't have in Nigeria, because there is no record of crime in Nigeria. There is no record of crime.
We don't have them in all places.
All places, yeah.
Because we have.
Yes, maybe in the high places there may be, but in the when we talk about ordinary Nigerians, you don't find cameras around the streets. It is very easy for armed robber to come in, have his way, and at the same time, escape without any trace. So all these things are what is called the counter-terrorist measure. Not only to catch the Boko Haram. What about the robbers that is using terrorist acts to make money? What about the kidnappers that are using the terrorist acts to make money? What about other assassins and all that?
But it's not that nothing is being done.
Something has been done, I know that.
Being done,
but we should intensify because Nigerian is just exposing now to terrorism. What we are having over the years are insurgents, political crisis, and all that. Now is terrorism. Terrorism is a global problem. And we should be very firm in addressing this issue. And that is why I'm saying that the organization, that's the public organization, have to be cohort or probably partner with government to help. Because police are very few. The community, people lives in the community, in the street and all that. Their eyes cannot be all over the place. So all they need is to partner. Once their partner is just like this secret service stuff and all that, to really give accurate information about what is happening in every community.
Do you still see a role for the federal government's amnesty committee?
Well, I think I heard some time ago that the amnesty will be, the Niger Delta amnesty will be over.
No,